Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, just round the back. Let yourself come forward. Hey everyone, welcome to class. Today we're going to be focused on a little bit of a gentle flow for those of you who have lower back pain. So, props. I am going to give you the option to use a block, but honestly it's completely non-essential. So if you have it, great, use it. If you don't, doesn't really matter. It won't negatively impact your practice today. I'm also going to link to a Spotify playlist to go along with this class in the description below. So if you're into music, you want to have a little bit more of a full experience, you can check that out in the description below. So let's go ahead and get started. We're actually going to begin in child's pose. So you can just keep this within reach if you're using it, but you don't need it right away. Bring your feet together, knees apart, and slide the hips back. Take your forehead to your mat and just be really gentle on your back. So as you slide the hips back, just notice if you're going too far, if you need to back off a little bit. And don't worry about stretching your arms way out in front of you for this one. You can keep the elbows bent and just let the hands just rest gently in front of you. And as you sit here, bring your focus to the lower back and the hips. And just feel the hips get gently heavier and heavier towards the feet. Imagining the tension in the back just dissipating with each breath out. And take a couple more deep breaths here. And on your next breath in, just slide the hands back. Keep the feet together. Bring the knees together. And here's where you can move your block closer to you. So if you don't have a block, you can just keep the fingertips on the floor because we're going to bend over to one side. I like using a block as long as I have one because it just allows me to have a bit more support, brings the floor up a little closer. So if you need the floor closer to you, you can grab like even a water bottle because you're just going to put your hand on it. So take whatever you have, floor, block, water bottle, take your left hand to it and just reach the right arm overhead and gently fold over to the left side. And you can take it higher up if you like. And I like to bend my right elbow so that I'm not putting any extra like leverage on the bend. I'm just finding a little length through the side, through the lower back. And be mindful not to lean back. You actually, if anything, want to slightly tip forward. I mean, very slight. Can look any direction that feels good. Take one more inhale. Exhale. I want you just to walk the hands straight out. Fold over the knees. You can rest your forehead on the hands. And inhale, come up. Switch your prop to the other side. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, start to dip over to the right. And again, notice if you're bending backwards, you don't want to do that. Just ever so slightly, you're moving to the side and barely forward. Take 2 more breaths. And exhale. Fold straight down. You can take the hands under the forehead. And take 2 more breaths where you are. And inhale, sit up. You can move your block or whatever off to the side. Sit for a moment. Bring the soles of the feet together so the heels are pretty far away from you for a seated bound angle. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, just round the back. Let yourself come forward. The spine does not have to be long and straight here. Take 1 more breath in and out. And then gradually slide the hands back in. We're going to roll back over the feet. Come to hands and knees. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow. So exhale, round, but pay attention actually, because we're going to add something to it. So 1 time round. 1 time flex. Bring it to neutral. I want you to flex laterally left, flex right, neutral, round, exhale. Inhale, chest comes forward, neutral, flex left, flex right. Let's do 1 more round, neutral, exhale, round. Inhale, pull through. Neutral. Left. Right. Neutral. Tuck the toes. Sit up and back, downward facing. If this bothers your back at all, just keep the knees bent slightly so that we're not putting any unnecessary pressure on the spine, in the back. Take a couple breaths here. And on your next breath in, shift your weight forward, come down to the knees, lower all the way down onto your stomach. Take the forehead to your mat. Interlace the hands behind you, press the palms together and roll the shoulders back. So I want you to bring that fist over to your left hip and then pull the fingertips down towards the heels. Start to peel the chest back, so you're kind of opening more on the right side than on the left. Inhale. Exhale to the center. We're going to switch sides, so bring your fist over to the right hip. And as you inhale, start to peel it back, opening the left side. And exhale, center. Take the hands on either side of you. Inhale, find cobra, just a little one. Exhale, lower. Tuck the toes. Sit back in child's pose, feet together, knees wide. Hands can be wherever, straight out in front of you, or you can bend the elbows. Take 1 more breath in. And exhale. And go ahead and look forward. Plant the hands. Slide everything to the front. We're going to come onto our backs. So take your time getting there. And you're going to cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Start to pull the legs down close. So if it feels okay, you can even gently press the right hip open, drawing the knee away from you. But again, if that's too much, don't worry about it. This is intended to be restorative and to rejuvenate. So if it doesn't accomplish that goal, don't do it. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, let the hands go, but keep the knees in this shape. Drop them over to the left. So the right foot is down on the floor. That's kind of anchoring you. And if you want, you can press the right hip open with the left hand. And here's a little sensation cue for you. Imagine that the right side of the lower back is trying to melt down towards the floor. It is not going to get there. It's not going to move, really, even though you're sort of willing it to. It's just that feeling that when you try to sort of melt it back, you get that extra length. So it's just a subtle sensation. And take a few more moments here. And gradually come back to the center. So just pull it all up, unhook the right foot. This time cross left over right and reach to hug the knees in. And again, you can press the left hip open more or not. What would feel really rejuvenating? What would feel like it's restoring a neutral low back? Go with that. If it doesn't serve that purpose, don't do it. Take one more breath. And then as you exhale, let the hands go. We'll drop the knees over in the same shape over to the right. So the left foot anchors down. Left foot is planted on the mat. And then if you feel like you have the space in your body to do it, you can press the left hip open away from you. But don't worry about it if it doesn't feel right. And then again, even though it's not really moving very much, just imagine you're going to let the left lower back start to sink down towards the floor. So you get that extra length, that extra stretch. Take 2 more breaths. And then inhale it back to the center. Uncross the legs. Plant the feet on the floor. Let the knees drop in towards the middle. And just let the hands rest out to the sides. So here the lower back is totally neutral. The hips are heavy. Shoulders are grounded. So the whole back side of the body is supported and relaxed. Just take a few more moments here. On your next breath in, draw the knees in toward the chest and just shift your weight side to side. Inhale, eventually press yourself up to a comfortable seat, sitting evenly on the hips. Inhale, stretch the arms all the way up overhead. And pressing the hands together, exhale them right down to the heart center, sealing it all in. Let your eyes blink open. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me for class today. If you liked this one, there's plenty more like this, but full length inside the Bad Yogi Studio at studio.badyogi.com. So all the classes are between 30 and 60 minutes. You can pick which body part you want to focus on, do a different series if you like. I'll link to that in the description below. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me for class. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you right back here next time.